Hey all, hey y'all. My name is Ashton Nicole Phillips, and you are tuned in to Kingdom Things Podcast with Ashton Nicole Phillips. I want to be candid. We're channeling some ancestral forces today. By the way, within the podcast, I use my shaman mama capabilities, my connection to the oneness of all things, that is all things, me, you, your neighbor, all beings, all things. We are one in a greater perspective, greater conscious awareness, scope, understanding of our existential fundamental nature. We call this a lot of the time celestial consciousness, God consciousness, oneness consciousness, Christ consciousness. Within the podcast, Kingdom Things Podcast with Ashton Nicole Phillips, I use my shaman mama capabilities, my connection with the oneness of all things, seeking God inside, seeking God in all things, by being inquisitive about our existence, about our existential fundamental nature, in order to come into greater conscious awareness as well as greater conscious embodiment of our limitless nature. Subscribe and hit the notification bell if you're watching on YouTube. Follow, hit the notification bell if you're watching on Spotify, y'all. We're channeling ancestral forces today. The energetic dispositions are raw and honest. We're channeling, okay, because what I like to do is my process of channeling ancestral forces. I live seeking God on the inside, seeking God in all things. This started with being catalyzed onto my spiritual awakening journey. I'm going to link my story below. In the reference content, I did a Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment transmission. Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment is another healing channel that I have. It's available to stream for free on YouTube. We do powwow sessions over there. Really in all my content. We comb through the inner space with the ancestral, celestial, galactic, and beyond forces to help grow and evolve our DNA, our energy, our existence, our galactic heritage, our DNA, our energy, our existence, our galactic heritage, our symbiotic one, to greater conscious awareness, conscious embodiment of our limitless wellness, balance, universally order, universally aligned, rhythm, existence, to be the wellness that we've always only been. We're awakening out of a gestational phase where we perceived ourselves as limitation, or we perceived ourselves as a mask, instead of the limitless infinite energies incarnated as galactic species of cosmic orchestration of the cosmos, experiencing the self for all things, limitless potentials, also called Shekinah, Hashem, Brahman, the Most High, and many other things within our synaptical understanding of reality, prime source, many other names within our synaptical understanding of reality. We became we identified as finite nature. This is what my soul, the universe, is calls it many things. My soul calls it the gestational phase, where we are calcified in these dense energies, this song of dense energies. Also synonymous with our ancestral patterns, our ancestral wounds, that programmed us into boxes of belief systems, affinity, of destitution, which perpetuated death, disease, war, famine, poverty, pedophilia, sex trafficking, human trafficking. We are awakening from this gestational phase. Why? Because it's celestially ordained, cosmically ordained. My soul says this is the ways of nature, Ashley. There's rhythms, ups and downs. Principle of rhythm, ups and downs. Hermetic principle of rhythm, universal law of rhythm, ups and downs. Creation habits and ups and downs, lefts and rights, diagonals, all infinite ways. We're awakening from the gestational phase, which brings me to the Kingdom Things Podcast with Ashton Nicole Phillips, 2033 prophecy. We're going to get back to the ancestors. By the year 2033, the divine says, this ancient prophecy prophesied all of the cosmos, the galaxy, all of the planet in many dimensions. The second coming of Christ, the age of Aquarius, Mayan Hopi prophesied fifth world. Australian Aboriginal people prophesied returning home to our galactic heritage, our galactic remembrance. By the year 2033, the divine says we will be a galactic species of the cosmos, divine evolution, or God, divine evolution of God, Allah, Shekinah, prime source, Hashem, Brahman, the Most High, remembered into the remembrance that we are limitless, wellness, and balance. With a greater conscious perspective, scope, understanding of ourselves, of our experiences, to be the wellness, to be the wisdoms from our experiences of ourselves or our evolution, to be the antidote or healing frequencies, or the wisdoms from the experience, ancestral traumas, wounds, patterns that procreated and perpetuated death, disease, warfare, and poverty, pedophilia, sex trafficking, human trafficking. Raising our dense, stronger frequencies of our existence in higher frequential patterning, aligned with realities of no death, aligned with realities existence of no death, no disease, no war, no famine, no peace, no poverty, no pedophilia, no sex trafficking, no human trafficking. Cellularly on a genome, cellular, molecular level, regenerating to be in frequencies that emit and shape our reality of an existence of no death, no disease, no war, no famine, no peace, no poverty, no pedophilia, no sex trafficking, no human trafficking. Also a conscious cosmic species of divine evolution, or the cosmos. I channel within the podcast. I'm going to reference the episode below, as well as I didn't finish. So Oneness Connection. This is Kingdom Things Podcast with Ashley Nicole Phillips. Again, follow if you're watching. Follow, hit the notification bell if you're watching on Spotify. Subscribe, hit the notification bell if you're watching on YouTube. Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment is Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment with Ashley Nicole Phillips is linked below in the description of this Kingdom Things Podcast installment. Over there, again, we do powwow sessions. We comb through our inner space. The ancestral forces be like, hey, Ashley, look at this paradigm in humanism. Channel it in Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment. We're going to share wisdoms, healing frequencies, expanded consciousness, perspective, perception of y'all's existence, to help y'all bring y'all's future selves, to help evolve y'all into y'all's future self in the present moment. So I'm linking below in the reference content, my story, which is a Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment installment transmission. So where I share about my process of awakening and my journey, how I was breadcrumbed all of my life into prime positioning to be catalyzed onto my spiritual awakening journey, to assist with raising the frequency of all of humanity, all of the galaxies, all of Shekinah, Hashem, Prime Source, Brahman, the Most High, or God, into greater conscious awareness of the unity that is our existence, of the infinite dimensions or parallel universes, scenes, realities, realms, energetic embodiments, energetic frequencies, infinitely, in which is our existence. So my story, Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment. I'm also going to link the Kingdom Things Podcast installment titled Humans Ashamed of Being Human. Plus, which we transcend this. Humans ashamed of being human. Whenever I say transcendence, I'm like, universe, soul, give us the wisdoms from this. We no longer need to perpetuate the limitations. Give us the wisdoms from the limitations so we can be the wisdoms of wellness to grow and evolve and embody more of our limitless wellness, balanced, universally aligned, universally assigned nature. Highest timeline potentials for the upliftment and regeneration of all things, and so shall it be. So I'm looking below, humans ashamed of being human, plus the galactic creation, which is the Kingdom Things Podcast installment. I channel within this installment many things, including the galactic creation, galactic experiment is an iota or dimension of infinite dimensions, infinite paradigms, infinite energetic embodiments, infinite frequencies, infinite realms, infinite dimensions. And this infinite nature we most commonly call a term God, Allah, Shekinah, Prime Source, Hashem, Brahman, the Most High, within our perspective, perception of our evolution. Galactic creation is a dimension or a paradigm within infinite paradigms or dimensions, synonymously, symbiotically, still one with these infinite dimensions. We're awakening from our inner space and outer space as our existence is, I channeled in this installment, humans ashamed of being human plus galactic creation. Our existence is manifested by the energy of our soul, or our DNA, or our genome, or the evolution of all things. We became calcified in a box of thought patterns and frequencies, limited frequential patternings or dense frequencies, which stifled our perception as well as expression of our limitless nature. To choose to be wellness by the thought patterns we align with, by the frequencies we align with, to choose to be, remember that we are infinite, limitless, journeying our existence, our reality with an inquisitive disposition to learn about more of our infinite nature. Which brings me to the Kingdom Things Podcast. Call to action. Sit with yourself every day. Ask yourself, hey self, hey self. What is it that I need to know to come into greater conscious awareness, greater conscious embodiment of my limitless potentials? Wait for the answers because they will come, they will show. Your lingo with the universe is most likely unique to yourself. Are the way. Validate your, however the lingo is with the universe and yourself, validate yourself and your knowing so that in which you become more comfortable with blossoming and being more of your infinite, limitless nature in your every now present moment. To bring your future self, high frequency energies of the future into the present moment. How? By being inquisitive about ourselves, about our present. Hey, soul, what is this in my reality supposed to teach me about myself? We know the universal principle of correspondence, as below, so above. Everything in our reality is a manifestation of our own energy, our frequency, our one energy that manifests in infinite ways, infinite dimensions of contrast and evolution. Wait for the answers when you ask, hey self, what is the way I'm showing up supposed to teach me about myself? What is the way in which reality is showing up supposed to teach me about myself? Wait for the answers because they will come. Deep dive into these wisdoms, these understandings, to be the wisdoms, the wellness, or the future higher frequency energies in the present moment, to assist with no death, no disease, no war, no famine, world peace, no poverty, no pedophilia, no sex trafficking, no human trafficking. This brings me to the Kardashev scale prophecy. The divine says we need an awakened human culture of the cosmos to remember that you're one of infinite human species of the cosmos, to remember that you're one of infinite beings, dimensions, shapes, forms, energetic embodiments of divine evolution or God, Allah, Shekinah, Prime Source, Hashem, Brahman, the Most High. To be a Kardashev, traveling, evolving species of a divine evolution or God, Allah, Shekinah, Prime Source, Hashem, Brahman, the Most High. No limitations. Kardashev, I channeled, the soul said, hey, I was channeling, I'll link it below. The Kardashev Scale Prophecy. It's a Kingdom Things podcast installment. I was actually telepathically, multidimensionally communicating with a Kardashev scale, traveling, evolving, multidimensional species, light being race. By the way, I use my Shaman Mama capabilities. I think I already said this. My connection with all things, mediumship, psychic abilities, connection to the inner space, to commune with multidimensionality, multiplicity, our infinite nature, all things, or the self, our self. Kardashev Scale Prophecy is the Kingdom Things podcast installment. It is linked below. I didn't even know what the Kardashev scale was consciously until I was multidimensionally telepathically communicating with this Kardashev scale, traveling, evolving, upwardly, light being collected. They're like, hey, should you know what the Kardashev scale is? I said no, and they could tell I didn't know. I didn't have a conscious awareness, so I went to go look, and they were like, the ancestral forces, the 10th dimension. At the time I channeled it, it came through that they were 10th dimensional, and I have to understand that they've grown and evolved, superseding that paradigm of a 10th dimensional or level 10 Kardashev scale colony. They've grown and evolved since this transmission. So I said a Kardashev scale, traveling species, divine evolution, beingness, energies of the cosmos and beyond, divine evolution. Channeled that, hey, humanity, we gifted y'all. Kardashev channeled the Kardashev scale prophecy, and the Kardashev scale gives a rough draft, an outline in regards to the status, evolutionary status of a cosmic species or cosmic colony, cosmic community, based off of the amount of our own energy in which we're able to harness and utilize in our evolution. The divine says, hey, the universe is the celestial bodies, the multiverse says, hey, this scale was gifted to y'all to understand that y'all were created to benevolently grow and evolve into more wellness, balance, infinitely, no limitations. So the Kardashev scale prophecy, I used to say type 1, type 2, type 3, Kardashev scale colony. The truth is we're awakening, and our potentials can't really be quantified. We can, we definitely have paradigms and lines and dimensions and shapes and forms within our existence, or we have understandings, thought patterns that create lines and shapes and form, but trying not to stifle our potentials, understanding that we're infinite and limitless, and just allowing ourselves to be in divine evolution, inquisitive evolution, wellness, balance, sparking our innate disposition beyond this dense throng of energy to be inspired by life, inspired to life by our existence. Just pure existence inspires us to continue to grow and evolve into more life, a more conscious awareness of our limitless potentials. We were in this dense strong energy where we were calcified in understandings of the self, where we were motivated by pecuniary interests, by self-aggrandizement, by self-satiation. And I channeled, like I've been healing about this through the inner and outer space, through prayer and meditation. And the multiverse universes, the galactic heritage, the galactic ancestors were like, hey, actually, this was perpetuated through many timelines, infinite timelines of divine evolution of the galactic experiment or galactic existence. I haven't referenced this in a while, so I can't remember which installments I put it in. But let me try to remember. We'll talk about it briefly here. I channeled and I speak about the biblical tale of the biblical story, the beginning of space and time. I actually channeled this in Kingdom Things podcast, In Plain Sight. It's an audio style transmission where I'm living my life and I record voice memos. I get downloads and I record them via voice memo and I stitch the recordings together. I'm going to link this Kingdom Things podcast installment below. It's called In Plain Sight. Channeled at the beginning of space and time, 6 spheres of creation came together to create a more omnipotent, abundant, well-balanced, limitless creation. And when these 6 spheres came together, chaos actually ensued. And as chaos ensued, my soul says, hey, Ashley, whenever creation needs something to continue to grow and evolve, it naturally produces it. Once chaos ensued, so did space and time or galactic creation, to assist with sorting out the summation of the 6 spheres of creation coming together to create a more well-balanced, limitless, abundant, potential energy from the 6 spheres of creation. Let me take a beat. Galactic creation came together, ensued with the 6 spheres of creation coming together. And that's where our existence, we can say, an origin point, an alpha omega point, and epoch point of in regards to the spawning of humans or galactic creation, galactic species of divine evolution. We were created to benevolently continue to grow and evolve infinitely. And remember the wellness in which we are. So I'm linking below In Plain Sight. Trying to see where else did I channel this. So I'll just link below In Plain Sight. Like that's a dense, like that's a, like, I don't want to say dense, but it's, because that's biblical. The chaos coming together to spawn our creation as humans, as the cosmos. This is told through many religions and cultures all over the planet. And when I said that, I haven't channeled this in a minute. I haven't channeled this in a minute in the podcast. When I said that, it's kind of heavy. And now when I say I could perceive galactic ancestral forces and beyond, be like, hey, like, share the story. Yeah, that's still the story. That's still the story. This is still the story. Now I've grown to understand that this is one of infinite dimensions. Yes, we share the story, but before I had an understanding that this was the end-all be-all of the spawning of our creation. Now I have an understanding this is one of infinite ways in which we spawn into creation, because reality is infinite timelines of reality, harmonizing, evolving, parallel, symbiotically, all types of things to co-create how we present, how we be, how we manifest in every moment. And that's even a paradigm in and of itself. Paradigms of timelines of reality and the understandings of harmonizing and unity. And they're paradigms and understandings that we get to use within our for our synaptical understanding, for our evolution and growth. So we have gratitude. We're grateful. created to infinitely benevolently grow and evolve. So again, I channel ancestral forces within the content, ancestral energies, everything in the podcast are channeling. Our whole existence are channels. We know through our sciences, we are energies and infinite other dimensions of understandings of patterning and waveform that reflect and refract to manifest our every moment, or channel our every moment. The lights that manifest the channel, light energy that manifests the channel at every moment. So let's get back to the ancestral forces in which we're channeling today. So typically when I channel ancestral forces, when I do the Kingdom Things podcast installments or any of my installments, I have it in my calendar which ancestral forces are being channeled. And I do pre-production a lot of the times. Or sometimes my soul's just like, hey, I should just flow and go because we want to feed you some understandings that you might, we just want it to be in the spur of the moment. So I had in my calendar that and today we're channeling J. Edgar Hoover, President J. Edgar Hoover, President of the United States of America, J. Edgar Hoover. So I was like, okay, and it was a few months ago, like last year, actually 2025, it's 2026 at the time of this recording, space-time paradigm, Central Standard Time, Western Hemisphere, as known by humans of the Gregorian, utilizing the Gregorian calendar. So I put it in my calendar back in 2025. We were going to channel J. Edgar Hoover on this day, March of 2026. Now I didn't have much conscious awareness. I knew J. Edgar Hoover is a U.S. president. Because when presidents are ex-presidents, they're still called president, sir president, Mr. President. So I didn't know. I didn't know anything consciously outside of the fact that, I'm trying to be professional, but my soul's like, hey, I should be honest to your expression, because, okay, what I was consciously aware of is the fact that Mr. Sir J. Edgar Hoover was a U.S. president. So my soul was like, okay, I see, we was like, hey, we're going to do pre-production. I just got the multidimensional synesthesia understanding. Hey, while you're cooking dinner, go ahead and do pre-production with a powwow session with Sir President J. Edgar Hoover. I was like, okay, to bring some conscious awareness into your understanding of Sir J. Edgar Hoover. I said, okay. So I pulled up. Whoa! By the way, I want to start by saying, there's a lot of energies, because at first, okay, so I pulled up YouTube and I typed in J. Edgar Hoover, and I want to just watch a video, get some brief conscious synaptical understanding of J. Edgar Hoover's role in society. What was he known for? I was guided to the video. I tapped on the video and I'm just listening to it. I went from cooking dinner to cleaning my bathroom. I'm listening to this video. Now I got the app, like right when I clicked on the video, I got the intuitive download, energetic understanding that J. Edgar Hoover assisted with the origins of the FBI. I practice this now, making a circle. Whatever I'm triggered about, whatever I'm speaking about, whoever I'm speaking about, in which I feel heavily, I practice dropping to my heart space instead of just jumping to conclusions. Hey soul, hey self, what is this feeling trying to teach me about myself? And then I do the circle with my arms, like whatever I'm looking at I'm one with it. Full circle moment. It's trying to teach this thing, dimension, person, place, thing, baby, coming to me to teach. I'm perceiving it, person or thing, perceiving whatever I'm perceiving to teach me about myself, the self. To grow and evolve, to be inquisitive, to garner the wisdoms from whatever I'm perceiving, whatever I'm feeling about, what I'm perceiving, being inquisitive, to ask the soul, hey self, what am I feeling? to garner the wisdoms from what I'm feeling, not just jump to conclusions, to be the wisdoms, to be the wellness, to assist with being the future self in the present moment, or higher frequency energies, or the future self in the present moment. So what's going on right now in the collective space? I was like, whoa. So it's like, as soon as I clicked on the video, J. Edgar Hoover assisted with founding the FBI. I said, eek. Like, not to be disrespectful, but I was like, shoot. What do we know? Actually, being the wisdoms, leaning back into the wisdoms, we know that we're all evolving and waking up from this dense frequency energy which perpetuated imbalance. So I'm like, shit, okay. Oh, excuse me. Oh, let me stop try not to curse, but that's just how what's coming up. Why? Because we're channeling J. Edgar Hoover. And as I'm in the bathroom, I just got to get to it. So I know we want to try to do a few. I know we're trying to do a smooth transitions and things. I just got it. My soul's like, actually, don't get to that yet. No, I got to get to it. I got to go ahead and get to it. Please and thank you. So it's like, okay, J. Edgar Hoover, no beef. We're actually having a conscious like conversation through my inner space because we are truly one. And he was like, I got the understanding he's just with founding the FBI. I was like, oh wow. I was like, okay. I went upstairs. I kept on listening to this video, and it got to a part where allegedly J. Edgar Hoover had something to do with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s assassination. And now I'm having a conscious conversation with J. Edgar Hoover. I said, by the time I'm cleaning my bathroom, we done moved from cooking dinner to cleaning the bathroom. I was like, whoa! And I'm mid conversation with Sir J. Edgar Hoover, President Sir J. Edgar Hoover's in my inner space, having the pre-production powwow session, healing the things, bringing everything to the conscious awareness to co-create this transmission, to be the wellness, to be healing. I said, say it ain't so. I didn't want to ask him. He's like, yeah, there's truth to it, allegedly. He said, yes, there's truth. He said, yes, there's truth to it, allegedly. I said, so I had to go ahead and lean back into the wisdoms. I was like, okay, we're all one. And anytime we face anything in our reality, it's a dimension teaching us about our one energy, to grow and evolve into greater conscious awareness of our limitless nature, of our wellness and balance, to be the future self in the present moment, to be the wellness and balance. No death, no disease, no war, no ephemeral peace, no poverty, no pedophilia, no sex trafficking, no human trafficking, conscious galactic species, infinite energies incarnated as galactic species of divine evolution of the cosmos. Wellness, balance, unity, harmony. So I'm like, okay. We're all one. Okay, yes. It's very true. It's beautiful wellness. The Pleiadian ancestors, the galactic ancestors actually taught me this like a few years ago, and I've been practicing it. Beta wellness, oneness, celestial galactic consciousness. Hey, if you want to raise the vibrations and no longer perpetuate the imbalance, baby, perceive the imbalance as one with you, or all things as one with you. Inquire about it and be the wellness. Be the wisdoms from the experiences to no longer perpetuate the imbalances. So I'm like, okay. And then I was like, shoot. And then Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s energy came in. And I've channeled Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. a few times. I'm going to link these channelings below in the reference content in the description box. So I'm like, shoot. His energy came through. And he was like, can I join the transmission? Mind you, he's not in the calendar. Basically, I'm not expecting any of this. I had no conscious awareness that J. Edgar Hoover assisted with the origins of the FBI, the United Federal Bureau of Investigation of the United States of America. I had no clue that allegedly he had something to do with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s assassination. So I'm like, oh my goodness. I was like, whoa. Mind you, I'm getting this from Mr. I'm listening to the video, but I'm getting it from President J. Edgar Hoover himself through the inner space, allegedly. Him saying, yeah, there's truth to it, actually. And I took a beat. Cause I was like, I don't want to misconceive. I don't want to missee something. I said, I took a whole breath and beat. I was like, okay, let me calm down. Full circle moment. Start teaching me about the self, ourselves, these self. I was like, whoa. And then Martin Luther King Jr.'s energy came in. He was like, hey, Ashley, can you channel me as well? Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I said, okay, let me hold up. I said, it's giving. I said, this is giving Jerry Springer. I was like, oh no. I was like, Soul, what's up? Is this? The soul was like, this was expected. Like, yes. I was like, whoa, I didn't consciously have understanding this was going to happen. Okay, so okay. I was like, let's be the wellness. We don't want, let's be the wellness, be the wellness. I was like, whoa. Because the energy is like ready to get booked. But in my mind's eye, I did see President J. Edgar Hoover simultaneously at the same time. In my mind's eye, I saw President J. Edgar Hoover and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. shake hands. In my mind's eye, I was like, okay, yes. Be the wellness. We're mirrors. Let's be amicable. Let's be the wisdoms. It's like, okay, yes. So Martin Luther King Jr. and then Mrs. Dr. Coretta Scott King. It's like, were you telling me as well? I said, yes, Shirley. Mind you, we all have dispositions of civility that we like to practice. I'm going to be candid. I'm feeling, I think it's come from many dimensions. I'm feeling. So what am I feeling? I'll tell you what the brain says, like what the brain is reminded of, like fighting, getting buck. It feels like wanting to get buck, which is understandable. J. Edgar Hoover allegedly has something to do with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s assassination. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and J. Edgar Hoover, as well as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s wife, Mrs. Dr. Coretta Scott King is a part of, channeling as well. So that's what I wanted to say at the beginning about the energies. We're going to be the wellness. Mrs. Dr. Coretta Scott King says, we're going to be the wellness. We're going to be the wellness. We're going to call it civility, whatever. We're going to be the wellness. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. President J. Edgar Hoover, as well as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. second this. They agree. We're going to be the wellness. We are the wellness. We are the wellness. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, ancestral forces. Let's talk about the FBI for a little bit. To be the wellness. Because I was like, dang, you help originate the FBI. I was like, whoa. Sir President J. Edgar Hoover. It's like, dang. And what do we know? We all are awakening, then rising, regenerating out of these dense realms of limitation. Where we perceived as duality consciousness, separation consciousness. I'm gonna link an installment below. It's the Kingdom Things podcast installment titled "Resolving Duality Consciousness." So we raising up out of this duality, rose, and risen up out of this duality consciousness, where we see other and all beings, all things outside of ourselves, etc. The oneness or the harmony or the unity or the one energy manifested in infinite ways, infinite beings, infinite species, infinite dimensions, infinite energies. What would we do? Whenever we felt something, like an energy or a person that agitated us or triggered us or disturbed our apple cart or understanding of ourselves, we would fight or flight. Transcendence. So give us the wisdoms from this experience. Let us be the wisdoms of wellness, the harmony, the unity, no death, no disease, no war, no famine, no peace, no poverty, no pedophilia, no sex trafficking, no human trafficking, divine remembrance, divine evolution, divine awakening. So all of the things all of the things that we created, we were and created, manifested in its dense, stronger energies. It perpetuated the death, disease, war, famine, poverty, pedophilia, sex trafficking, human trafficking, and infinite, many other dimensions of imbalance. Infinite other dimensions of imbalance, transcendence. So we wonder why. There's been an Epstein cover-up, allegedly, by the Department of Justice and the FBI of the United States of America. J. Edgar Hoover was telling me how, because in the video it was talking about how the FBI allegedly had ties with the mafia and criminal organization, or co-created or had deals and dealings with allegedly the mafia and criminal organizations, the Federal Bureau of Investigation of the United States of America, allegedly. And Sir President J. Edgar Hoover, to my inner space, was like, yeah, allegedly. I was like, now this wasn't so shocking to me, because I've actually watched interviews and things about people that talk about this, that their understandings of how allegedly United States of America governing forces and agencies have ties and dealings with mafias and criminal organizations and mobs and things like this, allegedly. What is this trying to teach us about ourselves? Mirroring the imbalances that we've been living as in this dense song of energy that perpetuated the death, disease, war, famine, poverty, pedophilia, sex trafficking, human trafficking, and infinite other dimensions of imbalance, transcendence, soul, divine forces, multiverse, universal orchestration, whoever you pray to, yourself, your soul, through the inner space. What is this trying to teach us about ourselves? Let us embody the wisdoms of wellness, to be no death, no disease, no war, no famine, no peace, no poverty, no pedophilia, no sex trafficking, no human trafficking, and so shall it be. Divine awakening, remembrance of our infinite potentials, infinite nature. In the now moment, future high vibrational frequencies in the now moment, to perpetuate wellness, to be wellness, divine evolution, in evolution. So I was like, this makes sense, but I was like, shoot. But Sir President J. Edgar Hoover telling me this, I'm like, whoa, shoot. Allegedly. He's like, yeah, we co-created with like mobs and criminal organizations and things. And he's like, allegedly. And he's like, yeah, we had something to do with Martin Luther King Jr.'s assassination, allegedly. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s assassination, allegedly. I was like, whoa. So what is this trying to teach us about ourselves? Any dimension we think we're fighting external to ourselves, it's really an internal battle or internal imbalance, or our inner space asking for us to inquire about what we're feeling, to align with higher vibrational energies and thought patterns, raising our frequency out of this dense throng that perpetuated cycles of thoughts of destitution and lack, and imbalance, death, disease, war, famine, poverty, pedophilia, sex trafficking, human trafficking. Raising these vibrations up to be the wellness and balance, cellular molecular regeneration, high vibrational thought patterns, wellness and balance. Remembrance that we're connected with universal orchestration. We be in soul guidance, soul remembrance, soul embodiment, high frequency embodiment, and live through the soul space, the heart space. Remember, we're one in all beings, all things. We co-create in infinite miraculous ways, remembering that infinite miraculous manifestations is our homeostasis. So we have the Epstein files being covered up, allegedly, by forces within the United States of America government, taking accountability that these energy dynamics that we perceive outside of ourselves, they're one with us. Inquiring about the energy dynamics to our inner space, to be the wellness, to be the balance. I'm going to sit back and we're going to transcendently channel ancestral force J. Edgar Hoover. Thank you, Sir President J. Edgar Hoover. Thank you, Ashley, for having me in your transmission and be here to share in such a delicate time of remembrances. We are activating into illumination in which we've always been. You see me as gone, you see me as dead, but I exist in dimensions of reality that are so vibrant in energy or emotionality, Ashley, and remembrance, Ashley, that there is no fading to black. There's only fading into greater color or transcending into greater color. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you. 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 Sir President J. Edgar Hoover, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Mrs. Dr. Coretta Scott King speaking. Thank you, Ashley, for having me here in such short notice. Of course, civility. Call it my middle name. I am a lady. I am a woman of God, of the divine. I am promise. I am temperance. I am love, unconditional love. I am evolution. We are evolution. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you, humanity. Thank you, Mrs. Dr. Coretta Scott King. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you, Ashley, for allowing me in your space, your place, as I am here to set the record straight. The FBI had many things on me. Cheating, infidelity, yes. There's energies inside of me, inside of Ashley, inside of the collective that want to run and hide from what I did behind closed doors. If I was able to face who I was behind closed doors, with myself and my wife, I now know I would be more remembered, more angelic, more promised, more of a dream. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Thank you, Ancestral Forces. Mrs. Dr. Coretta Scott King, thank you. Sir President J. Edgar Hoover, thank you. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. divulging. Makes me want to share. Because I know when we face ourselves, we're honest with ourselves, we atone with ourselves, prayer, meditation, writing, journaling, however you feel to express, to learn about the self. We get the wisdoms, we be the wisdoms, we raise in vibration to be our future self in the present moment. I've talked about this, about my own personal sexual history in the Kingdom Things podcast a few times. I'm going to link one of the installments below. It's Kingdom Things podcast titled Foregoing the Ideology of Sin. Foregoing the Ideology of Sin. And I talked about how I've been celibate since I'm 32. I've been celibate since the age of 25, which was the year 2018 Gregorian calendar. And I talked about how I truly wanted to practice abstinence. And through zealotry meaning, my ancestors use the word zealotry, meaning seeking God within. Through zealotry, seeking God within, seeking God in all things, praying and meditation and meditating on questions and asking myself questions to get the answers, understanding of myself, my divine evolution, which is one with all things, and its infinite variances and dimensions. Since a kid, I wanted to wait until marriage to engage in sex. But I prayed and meditated over it. The soul was like, Ashley, there were things you needed to experience through your relations to prepare you for your divine purpose or divine awakening. So you knew how the energetic dynamics worked in this realm of existence, realm of reality. I've had 3 consensual adulting sexual partners, 3 gentlemen in my adult life. And foregoing the ideology of sin, I channeled how we as our gestational cycle of divine evolutionary humans, of galactic creation of the cosmos, how we perverted love, sex, and magic. Perverted how? Because we utilize love, sex, and magic for our own self, our personal self-satiation, our personal self-aggrandizement. So like selfishness. Instead of in juxtaposition, searching for God inside, God in all things, to rise into our higher timeline understandings of our existential fundamental nature, and using our thought patterns, our energies, our frequencies, our love, sex, and magic to create and be in alignment with a greater universal understanding of our existential fundamental nature, our existence, our divine evolution, our higher timeline embodiments, higher frequency embodiments, higher timeline evolution, higher frequency evolution. I also channeled in a Kingdom Things podcast installment. It's also in the Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment catalog. I'll link it below. It's called Our Creator Energy. No, Our Sexual Energy is Our Creator Energy, is the title of this installment. Our sexual energy is our creator energy. So we're in this dense dog of energies where we perceive sex as a taboo subject, something to be ashamed of, which hindered our ability to be conscious, co-creator, celestial beings, unity consciousness beings, oneness consciousness beings, Christ consciousness beings of the cosmos. Because we perceive differences and preferences in relation to our sexuality, our genitals, our bodies, our sexual energy, which is what? Our creator energy, or our divine life force energy, which hindered to put a lot of paradigms of limitation, or dense frequencies of limitation alchemized within our sexual energy, which is what? Our creator energy. And this dense song of energy, we were less of the understanding that all beings are truly one, mind, body, soul, and spirit. Irregardless of what our realm's optical perspective perception looks like or even feels like sometimes, we are one mind, body, soul, and spirit. We know this through our sciences that everything is truly quantumly entangled. And the way we perceive our quantumly entangled one infinite energy that manifests in infinite dimensions and infinite multiplicity, infinite forms of multiplicity, infinite realms, infinite beings, infinite ways, infinite paradigms, is a projection, symbiotic co-creation of our perspective, of our thought patterns, or our frequential patterning embodiments. Our frequential patterning embodiments and our thought patterns also symbiotic, the frequencies in which we align with. It's a paradigm of, this is a paradigm of understanding. Actually, there's infinite other paradigms. Cool, beautiful. The frequencies in which we align us with thought patterns and understandings. And these thought patterns and understandings are symbiotic with our preferences and how we perceive ourselves in reality. This infinite space, dimensionality, existence, which we most commonly term God, Allah, Shekinah, Prime Source, Hashem, Brahman, the Most High. We are pairing these limited belief systems with our bodies, our existence, our sexuality, which is one with our creator energy. Our bodies, our sexuality, our sexual energy is one with our creator energy, or our life force, or our ability to bend and shape our evolution, our realities, our existence to more wellness and balance. Higher timeline potentials, higher frequency potentials, evolution. With introspecting, reflecting through my inner space about my experiences, because I talk to my soul about this, or the divine, my future self, which is truly here and now with me, or my infinite dimensions, which is truly here and now, one with me. In prayer meditation, I talk to my soul about this. I'm like, dang, like, shoot. It's like, hey, Ashley, we needed you to understand the energetic dynamics of this realm of reality. So you can have a great understanding when you awaken. You are catalyzed onto your spiritual awakening journey. You get you have reference points, conscious awareness experiences to look back on, reference points to look back on in regards to the energetic dynamics of this reality. Because what our sexual energy is our creator energy. So 3 consenting sexual relationships with 3 gentlemen. And I used to hold that dueling duality consciousness, and we're evolving away from it. We're going, it's a process, it's a journey. Not a one-stop shop, not a one prayer. We're done. I did it. It's evolution, not a race. It's evolution, not a race. Evolution journey, not a race. So holding and evolving out of dueling duality consciousness, separation consciousness, where we take on perspective perceptions and then having narcissistic, bigoted beliefs. Narcissistic and bigoted, meaning we believe in who we are. We believe in the paradigms, thought patterns of who we are. So seeing separation between myself and these gentlemen created a lot of dissonance in my own existence, or our one energy, in a way that I was running from myself because I didn't want to face myself. Running out into the world, staying busy, having fun, working, movies, dinners, walks on the lake, on the boardwalk. Putting the limitations or the simulation or our reality, our realm, making that my greatest truth, because that's where I focus my energy, which did not help with raising the dense frequencies. Why? Because I was running from myself. Now being catalyzed onto my spiritual awakening journey and zealotry, seeking God within, and through prayer, meditation, communing with ancestral forces from near and far, which is all the podcasts, recorded through the whole podcast. The podcast, starting the podcast was a soul guidance gift. Heard loud and clear. I was growing and evolving, and I get to continue to practice. The fact that every way that I've ever experienced anyone, and anyone I've ever experienced, we've always only been one. Mind, body, soul, and spirit. It's like, why did I feel so like our bodies, our energy, sacred manifestations, projection of divine evolution. We had a perverted perspective expectation of the man and the woman. where we align our thought patterns of who we wanted the man and the woman to be with our limiting beliefs or our narcissistic, bigoted understandings of who we are. So if we have narcissistic, bigoted understandings of who we are, guess what? What we think we want, what we think we need, those are going to be limited, narcissistic, bigoted understandings as well. It's kept in powders are running from the self. And I am on the twin flame journey. I tell the details, tell more of the details all throughout the podcast, including my story, which again, Oneness Connection, Energetic Upliftment is linked below. Then I'll also link a Kingdom Things podcast installment titled Alchemical Marriage. How the man and woman, all things are truly have always been one. So I'm on the twin flame journey, and that's actually what catalyzed me to my spiritual awakening journey in 2018, my twin flame journey. And I held a lot of shame and guilt about not being abstinent or not being a virgin for my twin flame union, my divine counterpart union. Hindsight's 2020, I used to blame it on myself, on the gentlemen that I dated before, like they weren't good enough for me type of disposition. I'm being honest, y'all, so we can heal together. I'm like, of course, they weren't good enough for me. That's why I thought that's where I thought the shame and the fear stemmed from laying with these gentlemen. Like I could pick at them and show all the reasons why they're not good enough. But truly, we're only a manifestation of one another. Firstly, we're only showing each other dimensions of ourself or the one self or infinite dimensions manifested in infinite ways. Firstly. And secondly, what I was really feeling was a self-pillaging. Our sexual energy is our creator energy. And if we're using our sexual energy to perpetuate limiting beliefs or imbalance, or to reinforce the paradigms, limited, bigoted, narcissistic understandings, finite understandings, and the dense stronger energies of who we believe we are, by dating people and having sex with people that we believe we want, we believe we desire because of who we believe we are, those energies only cycle the destitution, the lack, the imbalance. I.e., my soul be like, hey, in 2018, hey, Ashley, go celibate. And we're going to bring your divine counterpart in. I tell this story, the whole story in my story, which is my story, which is the Oneness Connection, Energetic Upliftment, Transmission link below. Hey, 2018, my soul's like, hey, Ashley, go celebrate. Divine encounter. Flash my picture of my divine counterpart in my mind's eye. Hey, Ashley, go celebrate. We'll bring your divine counterpart in. Cold turkey, been celibate since. Soul didn't lie. Less than a year later, soul said, hey, Ashley, message your person on Instagram. I did. We came into conscious awareness of each other, conscious communication. Mind you, my divine counterpart, he's been a public facing role in society. We all truly equally are responsible, equally carry the responsibility of our existence, of our culture, of our evolution. He's been a public figure in our realm, in our reality, in our existence for a while. I thought he wasn't gonna see the message. The soul said, hey, Ashley, don't think those thoughts. Sure enough, he saw it. We came into conscious contact in 2019. Again, less than a year after my divine encounter, go celebrate, we'll bring a person in. Now, mind you, with the illusions and smoke and mirrors that we paint in our reality, where we make things look good, regardless of how shiny, my soul said, hey, Ashley, everything that glitters is not gold. Regardless of how shiny something is or expensive something is or esteemed someone is, no offense to anyone, we were still this one dense energy of imbalances. We're about rising up out of it. To be wellness and balance, no death, no disease, no war, no famine, no peace, no poverty, no pedophilia, no sex trafficking, no human trafficking. We were still all this one energy, irregardless of what we made it look like. So I was ashamed and embarrassed about not being celibate, and to a point where and we put people and beings on the pedestal, especially our spouse, our partners, family, you know, we put on the pedestal like they're above whatever we experienced before, whatever else is out there in reality. We're truly one energy, one being. I've had to learn this and practice this. It's actually keeping our as a collective, our energy dense. The illusion that we're separate from one another, when we're all each other's mirror to show us what we have in our energy, to grow and evolve to be inquisitive about our energy, to grow and evolve our energy to higher frequency evolution, higher frequency beingness, higher frequency universal orchestration timelines, to be a future self in the present moment, or higher frequencies in the present moment, to assist with no death, no disease, no war, no famine, no peace, no poverty, no pedophilia, no sex trafficking, no human trafficking, divine evolution, wellness, balance, divine remembrance. That we've always been infinite. Our gestational phase, where we perceive finite, lack, limitation, death, disease, war, famine, poverty, pedophilia, sex trafficking, human trafficking, was a part of ways of nature. Parts of our gestational cycle evolution, not our whole truth at all. So Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was honest. I was like, let me be honest about my experiences. And I used to really like big myself up. I had to face it because we're one energy. And if we don't want to experience something, or we want to evolve our energy away from experiencing things, we have to, irregardless of where we see this dimension mirrored to us. Hey, so what is it trying to teach me about myself? To be the wellness. I was scrolling on TikTok, and this lady, she was like, yeah, I've had 500 sexual partners. I was like, oh, I was like, shoot. Like, person was like, just like creating so much distance, like through my thought patterns, created so much distance between our energies. The lady on the TikTok video and myself. I do Facebook community lives where I community lives where I like cook dinner, or I'm eating dinner mukbang style, and I share whatever the spirit puts on the heart space. On my heart space is where we really kick back. We get divine remembrances, healing frequencies, and divine healing. I'm gonna link a specific installment below. It's where I share my dating experiences in this installment. I'm candid. And I'm really asking the questions to the soul of the spirit to get the answers. And now I know to get the answers. And now I know that everything that we manifest is a part of our own energy. Yes, it's symbiotic with infinite dimensions. A lot of times we're not consciously aware of these dimensions. So in this live, I was really asking because I needed an answer. I was really inquiring for answers, because I didn't want to manifest like relationship dealings outside of my divine counterpartship, because I've been pursued or like hit on by gentlemen, and I don't, now that I know who I am, I don't like it. So I was just asking the soul about it. And I did it during this community live, and we got real life answers, and I shared my multidimensional experiences that I've had, because now I be catching it. Because before anything manifests in the tangible, our perspective, perception of reality, through our sight, taste, touch, smelling, hearing, things have been moving or flowing around in the quantum fields, the oneness field, divine evolution, the ether space. So now I'll catch stuff from like ether, spirit, like, hey, we have a gentleman for you. I'm like, no, thank you. No, thank you. Now I'll catch it from the ether space. And I was sharing my experiences catching things from the ether space in this Facebook community live. So irregardless of your preferences and how your situation is manifested, whatever you're seeing in your reality, you know, feel how you feel, and also tone with your inner space. Hey soul, what is this trying to teach me about myself? So that we elevate our frequency, so that we don't manifest the imbalances or the infidelity or the destitution that we no longer want to experience. I channeled a song. It's called Tender Abundance. I'm also a singer-songwriter. My music, Ashley Nicole Music, is available to stream on YouTube, link below. Tender Abundance is on Agape, the album. I'm going to sing a piece. So, hey, feeling like heartburn. Divine connection stays there. Evolution takes time. Yeah, when I want to wake up and fly. Yeah, bending vibrations with my mind. Being like water, exploring different vibrations and shapes I find. Tender abundance, soft whispers, channel straight from the heart to elevate precepts. This is that universal reset, something like a remix. This is that universal reset, something like a remix. I want to thank y'all so much for joining this Kingdom Things podcast with myself, Ashley Nicole Phillips installment. Again, follow, hit the notification bell if you're watching on Spotify. Subscribe, hit the notification bell if you're watching on YouTube. Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment linked below in the description. We do powwow sessions over there, come through the inner space with galactic and beyond ancestors to grow and evolve our paradigms of understanding of ourselves into greater wellness and balance, alignment with our limitless nature, highest timeline potentials, evolution as universally aligned, universally assigned for the upliftment and regeneration of all things. Again, my music, Ashley Nicole Music, is available to stream on YouTube, link below. Many albums, many healing frequencies, incantations to help bring our future self into the present moment, evolve our future self into the present moment. I'm also a home cook. I enjoy cooking. I intuitively cook. Whatever the ancestors tell me to put in the pot, the pan, the baking dish, this is what we put into the pot, the pan, the baking dish. Magic Meals of the Ashley Nicole Phillips is available to stream on YouTube, link below. I also do different mukbang series over there as well. Channel whatever the soul, heart space, multiverse puts on my heart space to share. I'm also an author. I authored the Unconditional Love Literature Parcel. Let me take a breath. It is a 3-part book series. I actually channeled it from the soul space a few years ago. Still helps me grow and evolve. The soul was like, hey, Ashley, we want to help you remember into greater faculties, greater remembrance of your divine evolution, of your existence, of your existential fundamental nature. We're going to channel some books to you. So I channeled the Unconditional Love Literature Parcel. It is a 3-part book series. The first 2 parts are Asia's story. Coming on the story of Asia, followed by the story of Asia, I Am Home. Asia is a teenage girl growing up in the New York City foster care system. She's catalyzed onto her spiritual awakening journey when she meets her twin flame, Chase, in the hallway of her school, Manhattan Prep. She goes through many experiences which help her align with her remembrance of greater remembrance of the evolution of remembering into greater remembrance of our existential fundamental nature. The 3rd part of the Unconditional Love Literature Parcel is Maya the Half. Maya the Half is a twin flame divine counterpart journey back home to God inside. One soul manifests as 2 beings, really infinite beings, over many lifetimes. They know they're supposed to co-create a love and a life together. Each lifetime says that their love can't work. They will co-create a love and a life together. Which lifetime, under which circumstance, remembering this one being over many lifetimes is really, this one energy manifested as 2 beings over many lifetimes. Bigger truth is the one energy manifested infinite ways, making our multiplicity, our many dimensions, following our heart space to be in alignment with who we came into divine evolution, who we manifest, blossom back into divine evolution to be, to contribute to the oneness of all things, following our whole soul space, heart space, and intuitive guidance. One soul, 2 bodies, 2 beings over many lifetimes. They know they're supposed to co-create a love and a life together. Each lifetime says that their love can't work. They will co-create a love and a life together. Which lifetime, under which circumstances, the books are prophetic. The Unconditional Love Literature Parcel is available to purchase in the Amazon bookstore. If you're doing digital downloads, it is excuse me, 3 separate downloads, $29.97 plus tax, more than more. The links are specified below in the description for the digital downloads. If you're doing paperback copies mailed to your home, it's 2 bindings. Asia's story, Coming Home, the story of Asia, followed by the story of Asia, I'm Home. And then My Other Half, which is a second binding, are mailed to your home paperback copies, $29.98 plus tax, more than more. I also have an animated series, which I was guided to co-create channel to existence with channeling the unconditional love literature parcel. Asia's story, the animated series, is available to stream on YouTube at this time, on YouTube for free at this time. The multidimensional experiences in which I have conscious awareness of, I channel through my perspective, perception, in any moment, any season, into the animated series. Again, Asia's story, the animated series, is available to stream AP Short Stories on YouTube, link below. I also have a live series, Out of the Box, depicting what we're all going through in some way, awakening within the dream, or within the paradigms of limitation, to remember it's that we're infinite. Remember it's of our existential fundamental nature, which is that we're infinite, limitless. I love you. Love on yourself. Self-love is the best love because you have to love yourself in the way in which you want your reality to love you back. Self-love is the best love because you are love and your truth. Choose to give that love to yourself first. Self-love is the best love because it helps you be, embody your limitless nature consciously. We'll see y'all later. Bye.
Between me and you, life is all that it's cracked up to be. Taking my dark moments with as much gratitude as I do my light, I am able to perceive a wider scope of who I am. I am able to perceive more of my multidimensionality.
Which is available on Amazon books, in the Amazon bookstore. Coming Home, the story of my book. I wrote palm frites into my book. It's a restaurant in NYC. My book, Coming Home, the story of Asia, followed by the story of Asia, I'm Home, is available in the Amazon bookstore. It's about what humanity is about to going through the great awakening, the great shift, where we wake up to our limitless potentials. So I wrote about palm frites in my book. I've been wanting to go to palm frites since I was a kid. I've been talking about palm frites for the last 3 months. I'm manifesting. I'm in New York City, NYC. Palm frites is 44 minutes that way if you walk, 8 minutes if you Uber, you know.
You rang. How can I assist you, dear Asia? Well, I'm on my flight to London, and I got a vision. Ashley Nicole, please, Mindy, my dearest galactic ancestor, tell me what's going on here. I didn't know who else to ask about this, so I dropped into a deep meditation. And here you are. I'm always here, whenever you need me. Me and all of creation. You are a dimension of all of creation. I'm a character in a book?
Hey, my name is Asia, and I am an interdimensional being. I know. I just found out myself. Everything that I thought was my truth was a lie. I chose to continue this life because of the one thing that I know isn't a lie. Love.
What did you think the book of Akashic Records consisted of? Just as Ashley Nicole authored you or channeled you into creation, your co-creator, Ashley, was written into creation herself. But you reside within a reality of infinite realities. The age of unconditional love you have been assisting to bring about. You, your co-creator Ashley, and all of creation have been assisting to create, will allow for all realities, dimensions, and creations to transcend space and time, to grow, learn, and love from and with one another, as one creation, one family. Whoa. I had such a great time in London. I saw Big Ben. I ate at one of my favorite restaurants that I'd never visited before, Bacchanalia, London. I stayed at the Claremont Victoria, right around the corner from Buckingham Palace. I visited the palace as well. I also graduated into my role as an ambassador of the universe. I know. It went like this. As I was awaiting London public transit to take me 0.6 miles away from my destination, Bacchanalia, London, I got an epiphany. I once told a friend, our bodies aren't dumpsters for all of our emotions. And I was reminded that I had been holding in a lot of resentment and anger over the years for being or presenting as other than who I was, for not allowing my soul or my true authenticity to breathe. I was reminded by my ancestors that me forgetting who I was, a goddess having a human experience, was a part of the makings of me. And not only was forgetting who I am a part of the makings of me, but it was for my protection. I had to develop the skills or karmic lessons to be able to wield the power that is me, myself, my God essence, my goddess essence. All of the resentment, anger, envy, jealousy, and rage I held within, I'm now able to observe with a subjective view, an objective view, detached from the energies, and detach all people, places, and things from the thought patterns associated with this energy, in order to create new thought patterns to utilize the energy to manifest a reality that I do want, a reality of wellness, a reality for abundance for all, a reality of abundance for all. I sit here on this bench in the park whenever I need space to be with myself. Okay, how do I present this one? Other dimensions of myself or my ancestors shared with me that there is such a thing as a shadow government here on planet Earth. Based off of my internal work, my shadow work, my astral travel, and my learnings with my spirit guides, I have the understanding that everything in creation is multidimensional. The government is multidimensional. Our governments are multidimensional. Who are the shadows lurking behind the light, or what we can perceive in our reality? The shadow government is actually angelic beings, the all, oneness, or God, assisting with humanity's and planet Earth's ascension. Everything we've experienced and everything that we will experience has served as tools for self-mastery to be able to wield our oneness, God power in physical form here in this realm of creation called planet Earth as human beings. As we all, as individual humans, continue to align with our internal gnosis or our soul's knowings or our soul blueprint, we will continue to extinguish any remnants of the amnesiatic states in which we created out of false pretense, in which we created out of the understanding that we are abundance, in which we created out of the understanding that we are dimensions and are God, Goddess.
I'm glad we were able to pencil each other in.
Me too. You know, our missions keep us busy. Super busy.
Yeah, I know. We just have to remember where our mission starts. Internal, our soul. Where we meet, our soul.
Yes and yes. Before I get into all the juicy astral details, you like my new hairstyle?
I really do. What inspired the do?
I'm not sure. I just wanted something different. Well, different for me, anyways.
I love it, Asia.
Thank you. I'm so grateful for our bond, our connection. My internal knowings, intuition, God inside told me a while ago that we were created with each other's most wildest dreams and possibilities in mind. I definitely believe it now. If I had any doubts before, I have less doubts now.
Do you want to talk about it?
In front of the camera?
Cut! What are you talking about, Chase? Why don't you want to talk about it on camera, Asia? Asia? Chase is talking about some things that have implications on human nature and the planet. I'm not sure if I want to talk about it on camera yet. Well, Asia, you signed on to be a part of a show where you divulged the journey, your spiritual alignment, to hopefully encourage others that are going through similar things as yourself. You have to tell your truth. Tell your story. It's going to be fine. Okay, Asia? Okay. I am a key.
I am a key.
And our union in this reality solidifies the solidarity of all of creation, the oneness of all things.
A new world. A God dream. My name is Asia, and I'm a teenage witch. Just kidding. I am a starseed. My story is much like humanity's story. I awakened to some pretty spectacular things about myself. Coming home, the story of Asia, followed by the story of Asia, I'm home. The book series that introduces the book. After returning from a day's trip, I have read my Atom's letter. He speaks of my father releasing him from imprisonment and the fate of death. He pleads for us to run away together. This plea is one of which I made no state to decline. My other half, available in the Amazon bookstore. I feel as though I was born here on Earth to find you. I was created to find my person. The Unconditional Love Literature Parcel, now available in the Amazon bookstore.
I am a key.
I am a key.
And our union in this reality solidifies the solidarity of all of creation, the oneness of all things.
A new world. A God dream.
The secular, non-secular business. Antiquated. We don't need it anymore. We can allow ourselves to enjoy our human experiences. Our human experiences have 0 degrees of separation from the divine. So, morning bagels and grocery shopping, guilt-free. And always remember
to have a concerted focus on allowing light to reveal where I can be more balanced, well, universally aligned, and loving. Vulnerable share, because sharing ourselves with the world is another degree of intimacy with the self. A little soul serenation.
I open doors with the curiosity of I open doors, curiosity in my body, my temperance, magic in my body, we are my body, my temperance, bioevolution. We are our magic that's held inside, sprang from the earth, my bioevolution. With the divine magic that's held inside, came in my body to assist with the paradigm. It's so came in my body. It's so we are all divine. My body. It's so all defined as a human. We are all defined as a vine. My existence stands from universal love. My existence, I exist from the dreams of us love. My ancestors, I exist through the dreams of my ancestors. Here's where I get into my haka therapy, as prescribed by the Mayan and Olmec ancestors.
Hey Ash, received your request for companionship, so I thought I'd give you a ring.
Nice for you to call. Yeah, universal forces are answering and asking about my requests, which are eons old. Now that I identify as more than just my human, I am garnering understandings that these requests are eons old. Now that I identify as my limitless potentials.
You got it. Irregardless of any preconceived notions you may hold, the galactic communities of the galactic creation are inspired and enthusiastic about the activation of the bipedal human into its, your, divine presence. Remember, Ashley, evolution is a journey, not a race. An infinite journey at that. The spawning of the bipedal human, or God, limitless potentials, in the tangible, is an eons-old quest for the Creator, our Creator, to cultivate an unconditional love and compassion that creation needs and needed. You are your companion. Learn to love without the fear of losing love.
Spoken like a true great sage. Yes, I am practicing cultivating thought patterns and energies that grow love that isn't afraid of losing love. It is super cool to perceive how the self, or universal forces, responds to my changes in energetic embodiments.
Have fun, Ashley. And remember, be balanced, wellness, and kind.
Great talking to you too, Em.
As it is, always a pleasure speaking to you as well, Ashley.
Talk to you again soon.
civilizations that help us on the play.